It is interesting that I'm making this video on the day that Mojang announced that they're removing obfuscation from Java Edition modding. It is good news, it's surprising news, although it has led to some tinfoil hat speculation that this means that Java Edition is going to be open source in the future and Bedrock Edition is now the main game. I'm not going to go that far. Lately, there's been a lot of finger pointing towards Jeb, and I believe it is finally time that I make this video, especially since there's been a lot of hate pointed towards him, and a lot of it is maybe not justified. Now, I'm not saying that I agree with everything that he says, and it doesn't necessarily mean I agree with what Mojang are doing, because I really don't, but I do want to address that one video and that PDF that everyone obviously knows about. Now here I've built a little redstone contraption. If I press this lever right here, it's going to show a happy face. It's a happy creeper face. It's all toggleable. It is survival Minecraft. I didn't build it in survival entirely, but the point I'm trying to make is if I'm coming all the way up here, you can see the redstone circuitry that I spent about 10 minutes making, and let's say I wanted to troubleshoot some stuff, and then that happens. Now respawn and all my stuff has splattered everywhere. Gotta pick it all up. I've accidentally died in broad daylight because creepers don't burn in the daylight. And they also don't fall from like 20 blocks up from the top of a ravine and instantly explode somehow. Actually, no, they do. And what's happened? Oh no, my redstone. It's broken. This is the essence of what Jeb is talking about. Creepers are fundamentally anti-fun. But that does not mean I don't want them in the game. In fact, if I had control over Minecraft, if I had complete creative control, do you guys have any idea what I would do? Because I would totally add creepers to the game. But I know for a fact that if creepers were added today, the community would riot. Okay, so where did this debate come from? Minecraft recently uploaded a video on their channel called The Biome That Broke Minecraft, within which certain talking points were considered. By the way, this video was not not really well made. It's heavily interspliced and disjointed.
That bad things happen, but they're technically the player's fault. And what we mean by that is that either the player caused it or the player had a chance to prevent it.
You may have seen this PDF floating around on the internet. It was made many years ago, maybe in 2019, and it's a document that tries to dictate how Minecraft content is introduced. We have some overarching principles here: creativity, limitless, and most of all, simple. You may have seen this page as well. There is no Steve or Alex. They are used as placeholders and should not have an active role in spin-off projects or storylines. Yeah, good job, Minecraft movie.
Steve.
But the most relevant page here is bad things happen, but it's technically the player's fault. It's saying that disaster is common and that players can literally have their house blown up to pieces by a creeper, but it can be avoided. The game should not create situations that are impossible to avoid, and when it does, they should have a reasonably small impact.
It's really important for the player to feel like they're in control of what's happening in their world.
So this is where the contradiction lies. So let's just say you finish building your masterful house on your very first day, or I don't know, day 100 or something, and you've just lit it up. In fact, you've gone to the effort of trying to spawn-proof the entire area around you. You've just placed torches everywhere. You head inside, night falls, and maybe you just want to look outside and see whether it's safe to leave the house. The point is, even the most astute players, the most careful, risk-averse, may slip up occasionally and have a creeper sneak up on you and kill you in one shot. And for a lot of players, including myself, that is part of the fun. But I don't think that's what Jeb intends here, which is why this debate exists in the first place.
It's very important that whenever you add something destructive to the game, you need to test it with the players and make sure that it finds the right level of destruction.
I'm in full netherite armor. It hasn't been enchanted yet. Still a very strong piece of gear. I'm gonna switch over to survival and see whatever happens. Might happen. Yes, that can happen. Creeper bombs are a real thing. I feel there's something that needs to be unpacked about whatever is the player's fault. Is it they were negligent, they've made a mistake, they perhaps weren't 100% careful, but even then, creepers can do so much damage. It's certainly not a small impact. I'm gonna quickly summarize the video for you.
Back in the early days, we would sometimes have an idea on a Monday and then release it on a Friday. But we have become better at planning a little bit more long term.
We like to put the harder challenges later in the game, and we also like to make them opt-in.
Through that, you are able to balance your own difficulty.
Each biome has its own identity, and if the identity is being hard, it needs to be constrained to there. They shouldn't spread.
Players have a different appetite for challenge and, and difficulty.
I know people who really want nothing to do with monsters. Some people want everything to do with monsters.
So we really want players to seek out their own challenges.
Now I can unpack this video a ton because there's so many points that they've made, some of which I agree with, some of which I don't. For example, Enderman griefing random blocks.
When we added Endermen, they would pick up any block The problem was that over time, they would just destroy things that players had created.
Ominous raids happening out of nowhere. I still don't like the ominous bottle thing.
Before Ominous Bottles, raids were not really a great player experience in the sense that they were often triggered accidentally, which is completely against the principle of it should be the player's fault.
If they're so worried about the players having no control, well, don't kill a raid captain in the village.
Choose whether they want to have a raid or not.
All of that being said, I can see why Jeb made this statement.
Even to this day, it's one of the monsters in gaming that I'm still a little bit afraid of. If you would follow the rules that we have today, we would probably not add the creeper, because it would actually be so controversial to have a monster that would show up and just destroy what you built. The creeper is very iconic though.
So I, for one, am glad, and I think we should all appreciate that creepers have a place in the game right now and they will never be removed because of how iconic they are. With the direction that modern Minecraft is taking, the creeper has absolutely no place in it. Notch weighed in on the debate. I've been seeing a lot of Jeb hate over him saying the creeper's only around because it's iconic, and I'd like to set something straight. This is originally one of my opinions. I tried to fix the creeper by having it only explode as the result of player inaction, as I realized random destructive events you have no control over is anti-fun. He also went on to say that the creeper, while it was a mistake, he still would have added it today, which frankly is how I would see it. It's exactly what I would do. And in such a controlled environment like Minecraft, especially today, where everything is meticulously laid out and planned, creepers have frankly become a staple that works, which is how and why it became so iconic today. So what exactly is my stance on all this? Jeb isn't wrong. Of course they wouldn't add it today. They have a 90+ page document guiding them on how things should be done in Minecraft and what things should be avoided. They have rules like hostile mobs should be unique, real life animals should be friendly. At some point, with all of these rules set in place, adding something as random and as destructive as the creeper doesn't make sense. Once you've mastered the game of Minecraft, creepers are just annoying. You know what other mob is annoying? Phantoms. And how did we react to that? However, here's my counterpoint. Rules need to and should be broken. The Phantom probably would never be iconic. I'm sorry, you're burning up. I don't think we can ever flip the script around here. I don't believe Phantoms would ever be iconic like the Creeper. It doesn't have that face. It doesn't really destroy anything. And frankly, it's kind of boring. What are you doing? Creepers, on the other hand, are deadly, they keep you on your toes, and they're just downright mean. They blow things up. It's the stuff of memes, honestly.
I cannot believe I just survived. What?
So in that sense, I would absolutely add the creeper, because I for one am totally aware of the gameplay element that these things add. They would completely change the way you approach the game. They force you to absolutely light everything up in a cave. They force you to look around. They scare the living hell out of you. And I just don't see that as a bad thing. But when we're talking about the entire Minecraft community, yes, I can see exactly where Jeb is coming from. Look, I know this is an extremely controversial opinion that people may not share, but the game of Minecraft has the audience has scaled tremendously from young people to old people. There's so much red tape. You know what? Perhaps I'm gonna say this. I want to see Mojang add a hostile mob like the Creeper. Not the Phantom, something like the Creeper. See how we react. Maybe that's what it will take for them to change the rules.